everyone. My name is Sushmita Datta and I welcome you for today's session on constructive criticism for better leadership. I am sure you all are here to learn about how to deliver criticism or your feedback in a constructive manner. So let me first describe and tell you what is actually constructive criticism, how it is different from normal criticism and just providing feedback. As you can already see or hear from the name itself, it is constructive criticism, which is when you deliver your feedback or your criticism to someone, it is delivered in a very well packaged manner. It is very well packed and it is constructive in nature. That means the person whom you are delivering it to should be willing to work on it, should be willing to take it proactively and work on it so that it gets better, so that whatever you are delivering is actually taken in a very positive manner. Constructive criticism is very, very important in terms of leadership, because if you are leading a team or if you are working in an environment where you are leading a team or you have people working for you, then knowing this, understanding this aspect of how you can actually deliver the feedback in a constructive manner will take your team to the next level. And once your team has gone to once you have given and provided better criticism, they will actually not feel bad about themselves. They will not actually feel down. They will rather feel encouraged and take your feedback in a very proactive manner and work on it. And wouldn't it be amazing to do that? If your team can take all your feedback in a positive manner and work on it, your team can go to a next level for sure. So are you ready for it? I'm sure you are. Grab your notepad and pen, as I always tell you, and be ready to write down, to take notes, because these are human-centered skills and you are going to learn it by doing. And what can be better way than taking better notes? So, okay, the first thing that you must learn is giving feedback. That is like sandwich feedback method. So what is sandwich feedback method? It, as the name says, it is as simple as that. You are going to sandwich your criticism between something positive and end it with positive, and in between will be the improvement part. So your feedback is going to be sandwiched between two positives of whomever you are delivering to. So let me elaborate it. So how you are going to deliver, let me tell you with an example so that your understanding is very concrete and you know how to do it. So let me tell you, let's take an example or imagine a scenario where you are a team leader and one of your project manager or team member is very good at delivering their projects on time. But they are, due to the delivery deadline and everything, and because to keep that track record, he or she, what they do is they just leave you, like they don't do the work, the quality wise properly. So you want to actually give constructive feedback to your team member about that you respect that they deliver it on time, but at the same time you want them to improve on the quality, because if a particular project compromises on the quality, it doesn't matter whether it is delivered on time or not. So how you do that? See, telling it right away that you are not like doing a quality work will actually bring them down, and at the same time they will not even now want to deliver on time, because they will feel that they are not being acknowledged, they are not being respected for what they do. So in such scenario, what are you going to do and how are you going to apply this feedback sandwich method? you are in front of the team member, and how you say it, first you say the positive. You acknowledge that what they do good. So you are going to tell them that I appreciate and I really like that you always deliver the projects on time, and that is a wonderful thing, and I appreciate and I feel happy to that you are part of my team. But here comes the criticism part. You tell the positive, then you say, but I would really appreciate if you can take little extra time, spend some extra time on the quality aspect of the project as well. Because you got to explain why you are criticizing. Yes, you got to explain it. Because even if you are giving feedback, if you do not explain, nobody is going to understand why they have been given that particular feedback. So you need to explain. And in this scenario, you are going to say, because even if we deliver the project on time and at the same, but the project has quality issue, we are going to lose our credibility as a team. See, you will never speak as I language, as you should always talk in the form of a team. It's like not you. Definitely when you are giving a criticism, when you are giving constructive criticism and working on it, you should never talk about you. You should talk about the team, the overall impact. And when you tell this, so now our criticism is delivered constructively. Now they understand why you are saying this. Even if they know from your first sentence that you do respect them doing their work and delivering it on time. Now the third part, that is, you are going to again say something positive. That is the same thing that you already said, that overall you are a great team member and I really appreciate you having in my team. I feel lucky. But at the same time, if we work together and if we work on the quality aspect of the projects that you deliver, it is going to take our team to the next level. So imagine this feedback where you are telling them the feedback, telling them the problem that you want them to work on constructively. Don't you think that they are your team member or person whosoever you are delivering it are more likely or more willing to listen to you rather than just telling them that I want to tell you something, that your quality of your work is not good even if you deliver it on time. So that this particular statement will bring them down. On the other hand, if you put it forward in a constructive way, in a properly sandwich method, you are going to get a lot better result. And I'm telling you, you need to try this out. You can try it out in your day-to-day scenario. Even if like being parent, I know it might be hard for some of you to give feedback to your children. So why not try it? Try constructive criticism with your children. Tell them something good, then sandwich it with what you want them to improve on, and then tell them again something better with reiteration of what need to be worked on again in a sentence and end with it. Everybody will be happy and your work will be done. Write to me, practice it and write to me. I'll be waiting to hear from you so that I know that you have practiced it. And whatever questions you have, write to us. We at SkillStretch, we are there to help you, as I always tell. And I'm going to tell again that we are happy. We are there and we are there to celebrate your success. We are there to celebrate success with you. So let's move on to our next point. Okay, so the thing is, when you are working on your constructive criticism, you must remember that you should always focus on a particular situation, not the person. See, the criticism has to be about a particular situation, about a particular thing. never about a person. You should never ever mix both together. We as human, it is our general tendency that we mix it. We always try to put our judgment about the person as a whole rather than about the situation. But if you really want to work on your leadership skills with constructive criticism, you need to learn. You need to force yourself to learn to detach the situation from the person. Comment on the issue in hand. Comment, but never ever comment on the person as a whole. Because if you do so, the person will anyhow, see, nobody likes to receive a negative feedback. Nobody likes to receive feedback that what they are not doing good. So when you are delivering that anyhow, why you want to make it complicated by actually making it personal? Because they are not going to be at all motivated or willing to work if you at all make it personal. So never do that. Personal attacks are absolutely deadly. So let me give you an example here. So you can say something like, if someone is late to the office generally, and they don't in a week, they reach office late 5 days a week, 3 days a week or 4 days a week, and once or twice they reach on time. So if you have to provide a feedback here, what you are going to tell them is you don't personalize it. You do not mix their deed with who they are, because you never know why they are being late. So you can say something instead of saying like, you are such a lazy person, you are never on time. This is absolutely deadly. So what you can say instead is, can you you are reaching office late. You can tell the time frame, like maybe 3 days or 4 days a week or whatever you feel. And then you can tell that it would be great if you can work on or take a bus or a commute early so that you can reach office on time. And again, you are going to explain why. If you do not explain why you want someone to reach office on time, they wouldn't understand. Because in human mind, at the back of the mind, it is like, okay, I'm doing my work. My work is not suffering. So even if I come late, what's the big deal? So that is how it works. And I am sure you can relate to it because we all have walked that path, haven't we? We did, I know. So in such scenario, you are going to tell them why. Maybe the reason is you, as a team, you want to portray an image of a perfect team where if one person is late on a regular basis can impact how the others work, for whom reaching office on time is critical. So you can explain that, and once you have detached the person from the situation and you have used the sandwich method again and you have put your criticism in a constructive manner, the result is going to be very welcoming. So you are going to get positive results out of it for sure. But again, I will tell you that you have to work on it. This doesn't happen just like that. Leadership cannot happen just like that, definitely. I'm sure you know that. So the same thing, when you have to deliver constructive criticism, you have to practice it. If you practice it time and again, within no time, you will be expert. It will come naturally. So moving on, I will tell you that the next thing that we are going to discuss is be very specific. Be very specific with your feedback. Be very specific. What I mean by saying that is, you must make sure that you are criticizing or giving feedback, that is one feedback at a time. And you are being specific. It should not be general about, oh my God, you are always late. oh, you are not doing it better, or you can do something better than what you have been doing. These are very, very vague and these are not specific. You have to make sure that your feedback is very specific so that the person you are delivering to knows exactly what to work upon. See, if you do not tell what needs to be improved in a very specific manner, nobody is going to know that how to work on that. Right? Comment on things that can be actioned upon. So, when you are providing feedback to someone, when you are criticizing someone for not doing something good, what your constructive criticism should make sure that you are going to give a feedback where they actually can work upon it. Like, I'll give you an example here again so that your understanding is better about the scenario that I'm talking here. So let me tell you that you imagine you are in a presentation where the speaker is very nervous, mumbles sometime, and doesn't deliver up to your expectation probably. So now let's divide it into two parts. That is the vague one. So if you are telling that, you are giving a constructive criticism where you are telling the person that you should you should really work on the way you look or the way you hold the glass. You seem to be very nervous. That person may not be able to work upon their looks. I mean, if you're having a bad hair day, you cannot really work on that right away, right? If your nose is long, if your eyes are small, you cannot work on the appearance. So your criticism should be on something which they can work on. Say something like your pause. Say something like the way you smile, the way you deliver. You should take more pauses. You should not be nervous. You should drink more water. It's okay to take some time off. So these are constructive criticism, and these are the ones which are actionable, which the person whom you are delivering the feedback is able to work on. So whenever you are giving your feedback to someone, make sure your feedback is on something which can be worked upon. Then comes, once you have delivered your criticism, once you have given the feedback, you should always recommend ways to improve. Yes, the constructive criticism is incomplete. It's totally incomplete until and unless you recommend a way out. If you are telling your team to improve on the quality of the presentation, if you are telling someone to be less nervous, what would you recommend to them? How? Because being in an authoritative position where you think you are capable of giving feedback to someone, you should be, at the same time, you should be capable of recommending them what can be done better. Because if you do not recommend them what can be done better, then whatever feedback you give might not work, because the person whom you are delivering to might not really know how to improve it. So you really need to make sure that you come up with few recommendations and be very specific here as well. If you are recommending them to improve their presentation next time, you should always tell what all things they should consider improving on. Say the pause, say the time off, say they should be more relaxed. So you should make point. The pointer should be 1, 2, 3, and you should deliver it. So it should be specific, and at the same time, you should come up with your recommendations. Last but not the least, never ever assume. Don't make assumptions about people because you really don't know. we as a person, we have always that feeling that we know it all. But trust me, my friends, we don't. We really don't why the person is doing what they are doing. So I will highly recommend you, and it is a big no-no, don't make assumptions. Never ever think that they are doing this because of that. If someone is a public speaker and they stumbled upon on stage, and you were attending and they stumble upon on stage, or they are nervous on that particular occasion, don't assume that this is their first speech. Don't assume that they have never done that ever in their life and this is the first time they are doing it, and because of which these are the things that you are experiencing. You never know. Because sometimes even a person is very experienced speaker, they also stumble. They also get nervous about certain points. Because take my words, my friends, it is not easy to speak on stage without getting nervous. So don't assume anything. If a person is getting late to office, there could be many reasons. We always think and consider the reasons and assume, keeping us there. If we are not able to wake up late, we think the whole world is not able to wake up late. Maybe the scenario is something totally different. Maybe that person has to drop their child to school every day. Maybe he or she is not able to afford a school bus. You never know. Maybe a person is a single parent who has to cook breakfast every day in the morning. So until and unless you really know the situation, which you can definitely ask when you are in the process of talking to a member, and you can ask but never assume it. And again, when it comes to assumption, I will tell the same thing I told earlier, that you should never make it personal. Because once you make it personal, that is where the assumption really jumps in. So once you have learned to detach the person from the situation, you are not going to mix both, and the assumptions will be very minimal. So work on these. And the first and one thing I want to leave you guys with, that you must make sure to practice. Because see, these are human-centered skills. And if you want to emerge as a better leader in future, you must work on it. It is not going to happen just like that okay, I'm going to meet my team and today I have gone through this discussion about constructive criticism and I'm going to apply it right away and it will all be perfect. No. Take my words, it might not be. Maybe you will do great. Maybe you won't, but that's okay. As long as you have understood the baseline, you have understood how it works, take my word, you can work on it and you can emerge as a wonderful leader. There are many aspects. There are many aspects of becoming a great leader or good leader, but giving and delivering constructive criticism, delivering feedback constructively is one very important skill, which I am sure once you have mastered, you will take yourself and your team to the next level. With that, I am really thankful that you guys took time to join me for today's session. Ask me questions, write to us, and I promise I will reply to each one of you, as you have already known that I personally reply, and I will make sure to answer all your queries, because we at Skillshare, we celebrate success with you. To your success, thank you very much for joining me today, and we will see you in the next session with another great topic. Write to me what you want me to speak on, and we can together build a community of wonderful leaders and successful people. To your success, take care. My name is Sushmita Datta. Thank you for joining the session today.